All right, welcome to week 4 in the course. Let's take a quick look at what we've got coming up this week. There are 2 readings this week, and you'll note that actually most weeks there are 2 readings, save the first couple of weeks. The first one, this Mortensen and Walker one, this is actually one that is looking at how you can use blogs as a personal research tool. And while I suspect most of you probably won't use it for research purposes, the types of things they're describing that you can use it for from a research perspective, I think are types of things that you could do from a personal perspective on a number of different fronts. So as you're starting to think about and starting to develop yourself as a blogger, instead of maybe using this as a tool for classroom use or using it as a tool with your students, which some of the other readings that we've looked at so far this semester have focused upon, this one focuses more from a personal standpoint and how you could use it as your own tool. Contrasting that, the Williams and Jacobs one comes back and looks at, again, how we can use this as a classroom or an educational tool. But the different spin on this particular one is the fact that most of the ones we've looked at, even if they've been written by folks in higher ed, have often talked about uses within the K-12 environment, whereas Williams and Jacobs are starting to explore some of the ways in which blogging had been used or could be used within higher ed contexts. So, looking ahead at what we've got coming up in our blog entries this week, the first one that we've got coming up is a commentary entry. Essentially, that's just an entry where you are going to provide your opinion or your commentary about some aspect that is of interest to you. The second is a guest blog entry, and this is one that you want to actually start working on prior to probably week 4, because essentially a guest blog entry is just an entry that's written by somebody other than the person who owns the blog. Now, for the purposes of this class, I don't want you to use a classmate. I want you to find somebody outside of the realm of this class to be your guest blogger. What can they blog about? Well, that's entirely up to you and that individual. Who can they be? What type of entry it can be? Again, all those things are entirely up to you. Basically, what I want you to do, though, is to find another personality other than yourself and other than somebody in the class that will provide a blog entry for you for this particular week. So that's something that if you haven't already lined up somebody, and hopefully I've, in my weekly emails that I've been sending out, have mentioned that this was coming up, so it might be something that you'd try to line somebody up for, because it's the summer, I understand, and trying to get a hold of colleagues and friends and getting them to do something on a specific timetable might take a bit of time. So that's basically sort of it for this particular week in terms of an overview to give you a sense as to what's coming up. Again, the content in Moodle should provide you with some additional information as well as some examples. And as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to give me a shout at the email address there or any of the other ways listed in the syllabus. I'll see you at the end of the week.